Hey guys, Ken's 97 Stowe 171. We are back with another ATS video, driving the Freightliner Argosy. There she is. We're in the middle of a drive going from Little Rock, Arkansas, all the way to Portland, Oregon. Job pays $243,000. It's a light load, 15 or 16,000 pounds. We are still running the 12.7 liter Detroit 60 series engine from Z Mods. Definitely a lot quieter engine than the 14 liter. Um, don't need the power on this one, so I just decided to keep it. On a long journey, having a little quieter engine can be kind of nice. Um, what else is going on? Not too much. If I cough or have a little congestion, apologize. Having a little bit of chest congestion today. Um, I think that's it. So let's get to it. We stopped. I think I already took the rest break. I did. So we're ready to go. It is 10:30 p.m. So we're going to be driving at night for a bit. Um, let's start her up. We'll need to make sure.
Ready to roll.
Okay, all the lights on the roof turned on, so it must have retained that setting. Unfortunately, like I think these ones at the top here really just don't do anything. um, if you look at the ground right there, if we were in a darker area, it would be better. But for instance, let's turn off those roof auxiliaries. See, it actually got. So let's. Right now they're on. Now they're off, and it actually got brighter down below there. You see that? Maybe it shows light farther out, possibly. I'm guessing that because it's brighter out here, it's dimmer right here. I don't know. The other thing I noticed is there are two lights, one right here and one right here, that are going on and off. But there's no. I think there's actually no light coming out of these. Otherwise, there would be light shining on the side of the truck. So when we get to the next place to do a repair, we'll remove these two. They're just visual effects, basically. We'll leave them on. Let's rotate around a little bit more and see if it's kind of dark there. Um, we already have fuel. We don't need fuel. Let's go out to someplace where it's dark. Like maybe even just out on that road or well, we might not get any place darker than it was there. All right, let's see here. So now just the lights. I'm curious. Okay, so it does show more light out there. You lose a little bit of light right here, but way more light out there. So it does have an effect on the world outside of you. I just find it kind of interesting that these two lights here on the side show no light output at all on the side of the vehicle. I was kind of hoping it would light this area right here. I might try like one of the bull bar options and see if there's some lights that can be mounted on that, pointing out to the side. There's kind of this area right here is kind of dark. when you're making corners at night in this truck, versus that Legacy W900 where it had a sharp line of light all the way from the front of the truck out in sort of a cone shape. So don't love the light output on this truck at night, but maybe we can fix that with some kind of bull bar option and get rid of some of the, you know, maybe take some of those off and put them on the bull bar instead. Maybe they would have a different effect, because then I believe they show up in a different lighting area. They'll show up as front auxiliary lights and have their own setting. So, all right, guys, we're off to it. We got to go external. Too much of an angle. See, it's really dark right over there behind the mirror.
When possible, make a U-turn.
Why do I need to make a U-turn?
Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
Still don't like the jitteriness like that when you try to keep your head still at an angle. And I haven't seen other guys using the eye tracker software have this issue. I don't know what the hell the deal is.
Keep right and then exit right. Exit right.
I think after we do this long journey, we might put the Argosy away for a little bit and maybe try one of the other, maybe do some long trips in some of the other cab overs. I downloaded some more engine packs from Z-Mods. They didn't show up in the last time when I looked in the garage. I didn't see the engine options. But then I just realized today that I forgot to actually activate the mods in ATS when at the entry screen. There's a mod section where you can activate. You select what's activated, what's not, and I never activated them. So that's why they weren't available in the garage.
Keep left. Keep right and then turn right. Turn right. keep left.
See if we can get her up to 80. Yeah, sorry about that, dude, guys. Oh my God. If you just completed your fucking pass, I would have got one around. We got a fucking toll booth. So why do you even have a fucking toll booth if it's just a keep moving one? Oh my God. I was doing some reading on the Freightliner Argosy, and they produced it for sale in the U.S. from 1999 only until 2004, but they produced it for export until 2021. Isn't that amazing? I don't know whether they used them in Mexico or if they shipped them overseas or, I think they may have used them in Australia. Not totally sure. I wanted to let you know about a couple of interesting YouTube channels I came across yesterday. Um, one is called, sorry guys, let me look real quick here. Scrappy Industries YouTube channel. Um, Found it first there. He went to the UK on Scrappy Industries YouTube channel. There's a video called "Is UK Trucking Better Than USA? Heavy Hauling with Calamity Kim." So I also went to her YouTube channel, which is Calamity Kim. She does heavy haul work in the UK using a Scania 780 horsepower, older one. It's got had an engine replaced, so it's like a 48 Scania 480, but it's got a more powerful engine. And the way they do their heavy hauling is completely different than in the U.S. It's pretty fascinating. I definitely recommend watching the video on Scrappy Industries. It's about a 50-minute long video. Really goes into some details about the differences between trucking there and here. And of course, she has some great videos um, of her own. So definitely recommend that. I watched a few of those last night. It'd be interesting to go back into European Truck Simulator and do some heavy haul work there. I don't know whether they have trailers that are accurate to that or not over there. I'm not really sure.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right.
Yeah, so I think it might be kind of, we've done some pretty long videos with the Argosy here. Maybe maybe try that other, either the Freightliner FLD or the International, or go back to the W900. Just about the time we get back up to 80. Oh, there's a little scale icon up there at the top right. I didn't notice that before. That's red. I guess it would be green if it let us bypass.
Recompute. Go straight up. Never mind. I'll find a new route.
Eh, we're not far off, gross.
Keep right, and then exit right.
Jesus Christ.
Exit
Just as we
right.
get up to 70. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. some reason I thought the road was going more, not that, oh, misjudged where I thought the road was going to go. And we're getting off the plaza, toll plaza here. What the fuck is the God. I missed the power of that 14 liter. Drag racing. Yeah, some of the Z mods I downloaded were some new Volvo engines, Caterpillar, a couple Caterpillars. I don't even know now.
Keep left.
Fuel gauge hasn't even moved.
Keep right. Keep left.
Maybe we'll get a chance to haul ass a little bit here for a while. Yeah, I was thinking it might be worth. The guy that I watched a guy do a video on the Beam Eye tracker. He used the same camera I have. Said it was a good one. It's one of the best ones they recommend from Eye Tracker. But he also tried like a cheap $20 Logitech camera and said there was a difference, but not a lot of a difference. So I'm gonna go back and look at his video and find out what model that is. Go ahead and order it because I think it said it was about $20, and just try and see if, some of the jittery problems that I have, is it the camera? I don't know why that would be the case. Is it um, it could be the cable, maybe. I don't know. I have had a couple of incidences of the camera suddenly disconnecting, um, and causing a crash a couple of times. I caught it the last time. It hit escape. It pops up a message in the middle of the game saying, "Be my tracker, lost connectivity," but you also lose your steering wheel and pedals, and everything just disconnects. And if that happens at an inappropriate moment, you're just going to crash, and then you got to reload your position. Um, I was just curious. I was noticing. Kind of curious. I was just driving along, noticing. Wonder what this gauge is. It's at the very top of, almost at the top of its. We're at 80. Let's. Oh, it's air pressure. Okay, so that's fine. I saw it was near the top of the gauge. I didn't see a red zone. I was just curious as to what was going on. Okay, sorry guys. I saw that gauge was all the way near the top, and I'm like, so she has no problem running 80 miles an hour. She's at the top of the green section on the tack there, but honestly, in the U.S., there's not much situations where I think you'd find a semi running 80. We will across Texas, but 75 is a more reasonable speed. This would be a situation where, in this, you match engine and gear train, you know. Um, I mean, this engine actually is plenty powerful. 500 horsepower is enough to get any work done that you're going to do with an average truck. What are you doing, motherfucker? Hanging out in the left fucking lane. Because we're coming into a town, probably. The click, that thunking noise must be something to do with the engine brake going on and off.
Go straight on.
Because it doesn't matter. We can test that. Turn off the engine brake. Yeah, off the throttle to. But if you turn it on, there you go. Yeah, so it has the thunk, that thunk noise is the engine brake turning on and off. Um, so with this particular engine, I think this is the right gear ratio. I kind of wonder with the bigger 14 liter making more power, you could probably go to a shorter no, taller gear ratio in the differential and get those revs down a bit at higher speeds, and it would have the power to pull it.
Go straight on.
So if we can just get 500 miles done still, which I don't know if we can, we could break this into 2 long videos. I have a feeling though that we're gonna on this state route, we're gonna end up having to run through a lot of towns. I did put that other physics mod back in that I had taken out previously. I noticed the vertical cabin movement is a bit more. Oh my God, that's a traffic light.
Go straight on.
Well, that's why the speed limit's not 80. We're gonna get, and then one thing that's messing me up a little bit. There's no stop line across this road right here, which is kind of weird. Like, obviously the red light's there, but usually at an intersection, and that is a full intersection, there's a stop line. There's nobody fucking there. What the fuck? Why? Turn green anyway.
Keep left and then turn left.
So I think now that I have those other engines,
Turn left.
yeah, we're gonna go. There's nobody there. That's why you don't have solid red arrows like that. They should be, if you have the green light on that side of the highway, on that side of the road, it should be a blinking yellow arrow. Basically turn left when safe to do so. There's nobody in the oncoming lane at all. Why are you sitting there when you could just go? When your side of the road has the green light. That happens in real life too. Some of the intersections where I live have a blinking yellow arrow. Just proceed with caution when if you have the green light. Others are not, and it always seems like they put the blinking yellow at a location where you almost never have an opportunity to take advantage of that, and they never put them where they could be most useful. To me, they should just be standard light. If there's a left turn arrow, red, yellow, blinking, red, blinking, yellow, and green should be the 3 choices. Obviously, they can blink the yellow light regardless, or turn it on solid or whatever they want. The other ones that are annoying, and we have these in some roundabouts where they have pedestrian crossings. They have just one at the airport too. It is the most difficult to comprehend lighting sequence. So they've got two red lights on one sign, and there are two signs usually, one on each side of the crossing. When they're solid red, you're supposed to stop. When they're blinking red, I believe it's proceed with caution or look, stop, and then go. The solid red is stop and don't go at all. Blinking back and forth like a school bus light, blink, blink, back, left, right, is stop and then proceed. When they're completely off, you don't have to stop at all. That is the dumbest shit ever. And particularly at roundabouts where you have moving traffic, they're extremely confusing. Why they do not just use the standard light colors? Red, stop. Yellow, you know, proceed with caution. Green, go. It's really dumb because when you see a blinking red light, you have to read the sign on it to know what it means. There are not that many of those around, at least not where we live, where I live. And boy, that is a big structure. At least not where I live. There's not that many of them. There's a couple at two or three at different roundabouts, which you hardly ever see pedestrians walking there. But the one at the airport's active pretty often now. And so, it's doing its thing. And as you approach it, the one at the airport, I don't even think has a sign telling you what the lights mean. The ones at the roundabouts do have a sign that says, it tells you what the lights mean. But I don't think the one at the airport does. I mean, once you get familiar with them, I guess, you just know what they mean. But considering they're hardly ever active, at least on the roundabouts around here, they're hardly ever active. And it's sort of a unconventional lighting pattern. It's not very obvious. I actually saw a YouTube video talking about that particular issue with those. His complaint was the same as mine, that why not just use red, yellow, green like every other fucking traffic light in the world? Why do you use something completely different that no driver has ever encountered before and has no idea what they mean without stopping and reading the fucking sign that's on the street light, which is ridiculous. I think we're going to bring the speed down just a little bit. 80 feels a little much for this. The curves are right at the border of my... Oh, come on. Fuck you. Let's see what happens if we just pass it. Nothing. Okay. We might be able to cover the 1,000 miles today. I don't know. Yeah, so I need to rewatch that video, find out what the model was of that guy, and maybe try the cheaper webcam. Could be a computer issue, could be a cabling issue. Maybe the other thing I might do is, although I don't know why a cabling issue would cause drop frame rates or weird instability issues. unless the cable was defective. So I mean, I guess I could download. I could buy another 480 megabit USB-C cable. I have other USB-C cables, but it didn't make any difference in operation. It lowered the maximum. Right now I'm in 480, 120 hertz. When I put on the other USB cable, it reduced the options. It must do a speed test or a data transfer test or something when it initializes, and it then eliminates the 4K options and the high frame rate. It would still do 720, 60, but it wouldn't do any higher than that. And um, oh my God. That's what happens when you lose momentum in a semi truck, and then the cars go around you because they wonder why you. Yeah, so we might maybe I'll get one of those other cameras, yeah, a cheaper $20 camera, and just try it. Maybe maybe the data output on this camera is so high that it's overwhelming my computer a bit. I don't think so though. It's more like it's failing to track properly, at the extremes. I don't really know what the cause of that would be, whether it's the fact that I wear glasses or a lighting issue in the room. I don't really know. Or the software isn't working that well. But like I said, I've seen other people use this software and not have this issue at all. Playing American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator. So I don't, way smoother input outputs, even all the way to the extremes. Maybe I've got the camera mounted too close to me. The TV is too far away. That didn't really work. Um, so maybe it's a distance issue between the camera and my face. I don't know. I don't know how I would fix that. I'd have to. Right. I got several things I want to do. Um, I want to get a tablet set up with a button box, set up so that I can maybe put the keyboard farther away and not. That's when you see when you see it do like this, I'm reaching forward to my keyboard to do something. And because I don't, where my setup currently, I don't have a place to put my keyboard really. And what I need to do is get a dedicated room, get the whole setup out of my living room, build it, put it in on a real table with just there's a bunch of stuff that's all got to come together to make it a better situation. Problem is what I have, basically works. And it's a relatively comfortable chair. Yeah, I know I'm hogging the left lane. 'Cause, 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 nobody behind me. What this prevents is me coming up on a semi. Truck gets in the brakes, cars go around the left, and then I'm going 60. And so I haven't really done any head tracker stuff with European Truck Simulator. Not that's gotten posted, so it'd be interesting to try that out. Well, there's our first yawn. Let me get to a straight section. We'll take a look at the map. We can just get about 150 miles farther up the road, which I think we can. And then we only have 1,000 miles to go, and we should be able to complete the journey. So let's see, 90. 200. 150. That'll work. 2 hours and 37 minutes. Okay. So it's going to take 2 hours and 37 minutes to get there. Let's well, let's just go for it. I don't know.
Time to get the job done.
No, let's tell you what though. Let's set a couple. So that's where we're going to stop. That's about halfway between. Okay, just in case we start to get sleepy, we can stop here, and then once we bypass it, we'll have actually there's another bailout option right there too. So I don't know. We're going fast enough on this road. I don't want to mess with the GPS. Let's see here. I have to hit F7 or F8 or something to get the information on the next when we're going to be. Shit, we lost that one. Okay, so let's do it this way. Let's put this one in, and then we'll put the other one in too. We'll put this one in 2. Then we'll put this one in 3. That way we have 3 bailout options.
Drive safe.
If the I don't want to have to stop. I got to hit the function keys to get the how much rest time we have left. I wish it would display it up there. Like instead of just telling me the red eyeball there, tell me the hours left. So I can maximize my time in game. clear, puffy sky, blue skies, and raining. Always a strange. So I think I want to finish this trip and then maybe change trucks. Maybe change trucks. Either go to one of the internationals. Yeah, we're just going to skip it. Doesn't seem to do anything unless it's giving me a fine and I don't know it. It doesn't notify me that I was penalized for not stopping at the way station. So I don't know. It just goes away. I've got traffic citations turned off, but I didn't think that included those, but I guess it does. We're in a hurry. We're trying to make time up. Obviously, in real life, you would never do that because they would actually come chase you down, and now you're looking at a big fine for not stopping at a rest area.
Keep left. Keep left.
Those train crossing things, they go across the road when there's bad weather. I think it's for snow or ice or fog. I'm not, or maybe all of the above.
Keep right, and then exit right.
We're just going to skip it. We'll go to the next one. It should only have about 50 miles
Exit right.
to the next rest area. I don't know what it's going to do when we...
Reroute.
Okay, it's just rerouting. So then the next one is there. We'll see the sign for the rest area for that one, and then there's this one. So 63 miles. I think we can make that.
Okay, here we go.
If not, we have that bailout option. We'll see it on the map. If you start to get tunnel vision, or you get dark at the edges, slow the speed down a little bit. It's a little curvy here. Yeah, I really like this rig, man. I gotta say, maybe it's just because it feels so homey to me. I'm a lot of miles behind the wheel of that dashboard anyway. Not this truck, but I wish up there on the route planner that it had, it's got the total distance there to the end. I do wish it had like miles to the next waypoint, like a little bit more information up there would be nice. So I doubt that we'll be able to make it all the way to the end um, in one more trip. Oh my God, what are you doing? Okay, it's starting to fade there at the and that was the way station we needed. Well, we'll just have to try to make it. It's not that far up the road. It's right there. We should be able to make that. We will definitely maximize our hours that way. We should have 1,000. We cover right about 1,000 miles, which is not really possible. It might be. Well, 11 hours times 7. Not really. Probably not in real life. When I worked for Pumpkin Company, they always told us to trip plan at 60 miles per hour because by the time you add in traffic and problems and slowdowns in cities, the fact that their trucks could only go 60, less than 65, that 60 was a good way to trip plan. If you end up with more hours, that's great. There are certainly times where you're running across the middle of nowhere and you have plenty of fuel and there's no reason to stop, where
Keep right and then exit right.
you could theoretically, go, um, you know, 700 miles
Exit right.
and average 65 miles per hour. And that's where
To turn right.
a unrestricted truck would be better because across Texas, where the speed limit is 80 for trucks,
Turn right.
you could run 75 or 80 for hours, and that would make a big difference over 65. Of course, it's also a huge amount of it's also a lot of fuel. Speaking of fuel, we don't need any. I wonder what that thing is there. All right, guys. That'll be it for this video. I'm going to split it in half too, just in case something happens. So let's go ahead and take our break. Raining and dark. Okay. That'll be where we start off in a minute. See you guys shortly. Ken 97 still 171 signing off. Be safe out there.